Shimoneta, a boring world where the concept of dirty jokes does not exist. Now this show is a weird one. My god, this title redefines fanservice and the ecchi genre with its weird perversion and naughty language. As always, I watched the dub version and I got to witness some real messed up jokes. Not sure they were able to properly transcript the meaning behind certain lines, but they did their best, as the voice actors did a terrific job in bringing these colorful characters to life, especially the girls. They are what convinced me to give this show a try after all. We have some strange and rather sick waifus here. They are beyond perverted and act very lewd, even compared to the low anime standards. Sounds great, right? Well, the show does maintain a certain shock value, and the story is rather decent, pun intended. Shimoneta presents a dystopian society where all pornography, including dirty magazines and erotic toys, are banned from the public. People are forced to live in fear if they decide to consume such material, as they have to hide from the ever so vigilant watchful eye of the decency squad. Citizens are being monitored 24/7 using special devices worn around their necks. This made it extremely difficult not to get busted while pursuing certain urges. Needless to say, some were very unhappy with this new tyrannic oppression. I mean, they might have taken my guns, but when authorities come after my pornography, a line's being crossed. It's time to fight for your erotic freedom. Well, that's the premise of the show, more or less. It sounds pretty engaging right from the start. Now obviously, there are plenty of aspects that wouldn't exactly work in this kind of scenario, but for artistic purposes, I decided to suspend my disbelief and just roll with this ridiculous idea. I mean, regardless if you have access to adult media or not, as a teenager, your body will eventually give you the signals to give you some pretty clear idea of what keeps civilization going. At that age, hormones burst out of your body like a waterfall. Ichigo knows what's up. The protagonist of the story is, as usual, a rather average teenage boy that goes by the name of Tanokichi Okuma. He's the son of an infamous terrorist who opposed the chastity laws. At the moment, he just transferred to a prestigious high school in hopes of improving his reputation, but also wanted to get reacquainted with his childhood friend, Anna Nishikinomiya. Little did he knew of the adventures waiting for him once inside the building. On his way to school, he has to witness an attack from the famous freedom fighter, to which authorities refer to as Blue Snow. She hides her identity with a pair of panties on her head and a blanket over her otherwise naked body. It is later on revealed that the masked criminal which dedicated her life to spreading lewd material amongst the sheltered public is none other than the vice president of the student council body.
That's you! That's right, Blue Snow, the dirty joke terrorist, aka Ayame Kajo. Nice to meet you!
And besides being a fierce vigilante, she's also Anna's best friend. Blue Snow is fully aware of Akuma's lineage and is determined to recruit him for her cause. At first, the protagonist was reluctant to help with her schemes, as he wanted to be an exemplary citizen and impress Anna with his integrity. Ayame quickly finds a way to bypass that bullshit and introduces him to the world of naughty jokes and vulgarity. She is in possession of a weird phone that hacks the system and allows her to say some pretty crazy shit. In the dub version, she talks really loosely. Nearly every line she mentions is perverted or hides a sexual meaning.
I'll be a lone master fighter.
In addition to being a masturbator!
Honestly, in my years of high school, I actually met quite a few girls with a restrictive vocabulary like that. What's funny about her character is that even though she acts tough and vulgar around the protagonist, it is clear that she is rather shy.
Ayame might seem a bit cold at first, but once you get her warmed up, you'll find that she's just a big softie inside. One time she tried to pick up a stray cat, but it scratched her and she cried.
Ayame found a way of overcoming her insecurities through talking dirty in public spaces and throwing pornographic pictures around. So that's pretty messed up, right? Well, she's but the appetizer, and the main course is about to make its entrance. But before we talk about that horny psychopath, I'd like to yet again address the premise of this messed up world. There is no way to oppress dirty thoughts among the young population. I mean, even in this strict prestigious high school, students found a way to talk dirty to each other through code words and other means of communication. Maybe it was intentional. The more restriction a society has, the more willing the people are to break some rules. I mean, my god, this healthy society, innocent and pure, absent of naughty thoughts, produces one of the biggest female perverts in the anime industry. Let's take Anna as an example. As stated before, the main character considers her a friend and even has a crush on her. He sees her as virtuous and just a perfect specimen of virgin purity.
Anna is a pure-hearted young woman, and for that, I look up to her.
Anna is an exemplary student and also the president of the student council body. Her mother is also a prestigious, accomplished, and respected woman. Needless to say, everyone respects and admires Anna. She has a bright future ahead of her, and some even consider her to be the perfect offspring of this brave new world society.
Oh, Anna, it's perfect children like you who will usher in a beautiful new world. Let's make it happen as soon as possible.
Well, she is a rather attractive female, a bit too tall, and definitely too strong for my taste though. I like dominant women, just not so much into the ones that can choke me to death in a matter of seconds. Anna has superhuman strength. In fact, she is dangerous, and even her best friend fears what might happen if she is to lose control of herself.
If Anna were to snap, there's no telling the suffering that would befall us.
Wow, talk about dramatic.
And that she does. It was too much of a perfect opportunity not to turn a good girl bad and have her become a lustful maniac. Ever since she accidentally kisses Okuma, a switch has turned inside her brain that made her thirsty beyond compare. Anna is so aggressive in her pursuit of pleasure that she basically assaults the main character. But wait a minute, wasn't she the crush of the main character? And therefore, shouldn't this scenario be perfect for Tanukichi Okuma? Well, here's where the show gets smart. The protagonist made it clear that it was her innocence that he admired the most, and now she has fallen from grace, as her behavior is inappropriate, to say the least.
What's Anna doing here?
She basically molests him with every given opportunity. I guess he doesn't really like it rough, and Anna, it's all about dominating him. She chases Okuma around the school with a crazy look on her face, which I guess isn't exactly his fetish. Not sure if this is a dream scenario or a nightmare. He may look hot on the screen, but I wouldn't want to be in his shoes. Somehow Anna still operates as a respectable human being. Around the others at school, she even got more strict on everyone else regarding lewd behavior. Something about earning Okuma's affection. The irony of the situation. She's a deviant maniac, and yet she brands others as immorals. I love this. Anna is a complex character, a hypocrite and a molester, but a fun and interesting person. I also like how the main character slowly started to favor Ayame over Anna. I mean, can you blame him? It was a nice progression, from partners in crime to friends, and now Okuma seems to rather enjoy living his life as a freedom fighter.
Do you like naughty language?
Fuck yeah, I do.
It sounds weird coming from your upper mouth, but I'll take it!
Ayame spills some wisdom whenever she talks to the protagonist. She mostly goes on and on about erotic stuff, go figures, but she also got him figured out. She paid attention to Okuma's character. And midway into the show, Ayame even holds an inspiring speech to push him to achieving his full potential.
But you're a cheetah who never bothers running. Instead, you try flying and swimming, and that's why you never catch any food.
It's also kind of fun to see Ayame get jealous of Anna whenever Okuma gives her his attention. I guess she also may like the main character, but this can go both ways. Anna gets suspicious of their relationship and confronts them in a rather scary scene.
Oh good, I found you. Oh, it seems like the two of you have gotten close lately.
Wasn't expecting for her to go full on psycho on her BFF, and again, she is full of surprises. We also have a lolly thrown into the mix. She's perverted as well, of course.
Wait, Kajo!
And her passion is drawing all manner of pornographic content. Naturally, Ayame was thrilled to have her join the organization, but Satome ain't the only lolly around.
Excuse me, miss, did you see a scrawny cocksucker run past here just now with a tiny little pink-haired bitch in tow?
Halfway into the show, we get yet another. Kosuri is a rather cunning young lady. She catches on really fast on what's happening, is especially good at manipulating people. She also ends up pretending to be Okuma's little sister. To save her skin from Anna, she might have pushed her luck though, as Kosuri immediately realizes the real danger she finds herself in. We also like to mention that, even though the show isn't ecchi, the fanservice here is rather female friendly. Girls that want to dominate, and we even get some boy love fantasy novel, starting the protagonist and the other dude from the student council body. At first, Goriki regarded Okuma with distrust, but as the show progresses, he slowly started to get closer to the main character. Some may say a bit too close.
Hey guys. Sorry for interrupting. I didn't know how close you guys had become.
I think their friendship was rather cute and innocent. Too bad these girls had to ruin it with their fanfiction.
Okuma and Goriki is now turned into an immensely popular, much beloved 10-volume series.
You're saying there are 9 more volumes of this garbage floating around out there?
The story overall isn't the best aspect of the show. It ain't bad or anything, but with a concept like this, I think they could have done something a bit more engaging. The main reason this anime holds up is thanks to its fun and well-developed characters. The first story arc, about finding a sacred stash of dirty magazines in some random forest, worked well enough as an introduction, but afterwards, this panty-obsessed crime boss was just lame. Again, the main characters are fine, it's just I'm a bit disappointed in how the overall story ended up to be. Alright guys, despite some aspects that didn't really work, I really enjoyed the show. It was a lot of fun to watch, and the girls were rather unique and memorable. I give Shimoneta a 7.9 out of 10.
Do you think it's possible that putting protein in urine has anything to do with pregnancy? Could protein-enriched urine be the